These are the white ink fabric markers I have been using for the past 4 years. And I'm going to share with you the pros and cons of each one of these markers so that you can make your own decision on which one you prefer to use. But after you watch this video, if you have a marker that you absolutely love, and it's not one of the ones I mentioned here, because believe me, I haven't tested every marker in the market, just these. But if you have one that you say, Ali, you need to try this pen because it's the best, let me know down in the comments because I am still searching. And of course, at the end of this video, I will share with you which one of these was my favorite and why. So as you can see here, we're going to test all of these on 3 different materials. So we have, let me move these aside. We have quilting cotton, okay, your regular quilting cotton. We have here waterproof canvas, and we have a little piece of faux leather. And we're going to test and see how smooth is to mark the fabric with using this pen, how easy it is to clean up. Does it remove with heat, with a damp cloth, or never, like you won't be able to get it off the fabric. And then we're going to talk approximately the price. Is it cost effective? The prices range around the same, but we'll talk about that as well. And so you will know at the end of this video which one I use all of the time and why. So let's get started. So we have here our quilting cotton, and we have the different types of pens. So I'm going to show you the pens, and then we're going to test the fabrics, okay? So the first one I'm going to mention is this kind of pens. And these are actually coloring crayons. This is the Prismacolor Premier White, and you can purchase these individually in any craft store. So if you have an art store near you, or Joanne or Michael's, you can buy one. You don't have to buy the whole set. As you can see, I've been using them a lot. Okay, these were like the very first ones I used at the very beginning when I started sewing years ago, because the options were very limited. So I've been using these for forever. However, there is a difference though. This one, it's smoother than the Premier one. Even though it says it's the same PC 938, this is older. This is a newer pen, and I noticed that it is not as smooth. So if you have your if you have your piece of cotton and you need to mark on the outside, now it's recommended that you always mark on the back, okay? But if you must mark on the exterior, as you can see, it marked really well. I did not struggle marking with it, but if I use this one, I struggle a little bit more, but still, it's good. It's perfect. The only thing is that they do not remove with heat. Okay, so in order to remove the marking, you just have to wet the fabric a little bit and use a damp cloth, and it doesn't come off as easily. Okay, so this is something that you definitely want to do if you are marking right at the seam where it's going to be hidden. Not something that you have to mark in the center, like to place a snap or a closure, or something that is going to be visible. So that is the cons of this, but it marks really easy, really fast. That's quilting cotton. Then I have here my waterproof canvas. See how nice it marks? It's perfect. So same thing though, I have to clean it up with a little damp cloth. And it is not easy to clean up. Not easy. Okay, look how much, and you can still kind of see it there very lightly. So it doesn't clean easily. And this is the back of the waterproof canvas where you have the PVC coating. Well, of course, that's going to be a lot easier because it's that plastic. So, you can, let's see. Let's see what happens. Not so easy. See, I was wrong. You can still see the marking there. So definitely, so far, the crayons are great, but only for the seam allowance areas or areas that you're not going to be able to see. Now let's do the faux leather. It doesn't write as good. I mean, you can see it, you can write it, and it cleans really fast. So for the faux leather, it's a go. And look on the back of the faux leather. And if it's on the back, it really doesn't matter if it comes off or not. But definitely works well with the faux leather. Okay, that's the coloring crayon. Then I have this pen that I've been using. I purchased this in November of 2021. So it's been 3 years. This is the Janyum 8-piece heat erasable pen for fabric. Erasable with heat. And it comes like this. So you have your pen casing, I guess, and all the refill. And it has different pens for like the red, the blue, the black, and the white ink. And I've used the other colors, and I've even used the white, and I used it for a little while, but I noticed that it dried up really quick inside the pen case. After I open it, it will work for a few tries, and then it dried up, and then I couldn't use it anymore. I had to throw it away and get another refill. So I'm really not very happy. It's okay. So let's go ahead and try it. So I put a white ink here, and I hope it comes off because sometimes it doesn't. If I write it, see, that's the thing with this pen. It will show up eventually. You mark it and you're like waiting and waiting and waiting. And after a couple of minutes, you'll see the mark. If you don't need the mark like right away, I guess this will work. So that's quilting cotton. I placed the mark right here. Let's see what happens. Here is the waterproof canvas. So I'm going to place the mark on this side. See, nothing. Oh. And this is a brand new one. Okay, now it's starting to show up a little bit there. Here is starting to show up a little bit. It's been a few seconds, but it's not very visible. And then if you use it on faux leather, same thing. You can kind of see the mark there. You can see it more clearly, but the ink is not even. You can see that one a little bit better, but it's just not even. And you see it's starting to show up. Now it's starting to show up. The white line is starting to show up right here. So it takes a moment. And here's the waterproof canvas. Not like a nice line. It almost like the ink almost spreads around. And I don't like that. But look how clear it looks now after it dries. So the ink has to dry before it starts showing up. And like I said, you will not use all this before it completely dries up on the inside. So this is definitely not my favorite. Now to clean this, to remove the markings, it says that it is a heat erasable. So I'm not going to apply heat on the faux leather and on the waterproof canvas, but I have here my quilting cotton, and I'm just going to get the iron and just add a little heat. Yep, it went away. There's a small little line, but that's not it. It was here. For the faux leather, all you have to do is just wipe it off with with a damp cloth, and it will come right off, no problem. And the same for the waterproof canvas. Next, we're going to test this Tailor pen. And this is the LQ Industrial Sewing Mark Pencil. It came in a packet with 4 of these, okay? And it is used to trace on fabric. Need to have some sort of pencil sharpener because this is really, really thick. So if you are marking, say, on this quilting cotton, the line is really thick. And I personally sometimes don't need such a thick line. I need something a little less thick. So I use a pencil sharpener to make this a little more pointy. The thing about this pen though is that you can remove the paper that comes around it like this. It's supposed to help with like not needing a pencil sharpener, but and that's good, but personally I think the line is too thick. And so sometimes I want a thinner line, and this is just too much for my taste. And it doesn't mark very well on the faux leather. If you see, it marks really well here on the quilting cotton. The waterproof canvas is nice, and then on the back as well. But with the faux leather, it just doesn't mark really well. It kind of doesn't, you don't really see the marking that much. It's very light, very faded. This one though, it says that they are erasable. They're invisible, so they'll eventually go away, okay? And they're heat erasable as well. So let's see. Let me get my iron and press this. It kind of went away. Kind of. I can barely still see it here, so it's not completely gone. It kind of left a mark, and you can barely see it on the faux leather, and of course you can just wipe it and it's fine. But in the waterproof canvas, it's kind of thick. And I don't want to press it, but look how difficult it is to get it off the waterproof canvas. So I probably wouldn't use it on waterproof canvas. Look at that. And it still leaves a mark. Consider liking this video and subscribing to this channel if you have learned something today. Next is this very popular Clover Chalk. I purchased this one in 2020. This one, and I haven't refilled it yet. This is the same one. So imagine 4 years and I'm halfway there. So super economical. And it works for your quilting cotton. It leaves a little thin line, which I really like. Because sometimes you don't need a thick line, you just need a little line, a little thin line. Here on your waterproof canvas as well, I really like that. You just place your marking with no problem. And then the faux leather, it marks on faux leather perfectly as well. And it's a little thin line, like that. Now to remove this, this is not heat erasable. So you do have to get a little bit of, it's not even damp, just a little cloth, and look how easy it comes right off. There's no marking, no marking. And then for the waterproof canvas as well, it comes right off, leaves a little mark, a little bit. Let me see if I use some water. Yep, it comes right off. And on faux leather, perfect. Faux leather, we still see a little mark here from the LQ industrial sewing. Okay, so that's the Clover Chalk. And the last one that I'm going to test, which is something I purchased recently, I say in the last month or so. And I'm actually pretty impressed with this. It's the, let me see, where is it? Let me look at it. And the last one we're going to test is these leather marking pen silver ink, okay? I purchased these a couple of months ago, a month ago, September of 2024. So this video is in November, so, okay. And I have to say, I'm pretty impressed. Now, as the name says it, these are leather marking pens. It comes it comes with 4 pen barrels like this one, and it has 54 pieces that are the refillables. Okay, so you refill them here, and as you can see, it's like this silver ink. It's mainly for faux leather, faux leather, but I've been using it on my fabric as well, and we're going to test it right now. So again, my quilting cotton, and I'm going to write this line, say over here, because I've done all this section. So I'm just gonna draw a line from here to here. Very nice. Like, I don't have to fight with it for the ink to come off or anything. It just draws a line. Done. And it's very clear. So you can see it from here to here. It's an ink, it's a silver ink. Let's do the waterproof canvas, sorry. Waterproof canvas, right there. I can see it. And on the back, beautiful. Like, that's really nice. That's really nice. If you want to mark on the back of your fabric, this is so shiny. You will not have a problem seeing this mark. And because it's a pen, it's a thin line. It's not a thick line like the others. And faux leather, which is what it's advertised to do. So I'm going to draw a line here. Yep. Very nice. Okay. And on the back you can barely see it because it's this type of faux leather, but it works. Okay. So how do I remove it? This is not heat erasable. Okay. It's not. And it's not invisible either. It will stay there. However, you can use a little bit of damp cloth and remove it. And look how easy it comes off of your quilting cotton. So it's just easy. Easy. I didn't do a lot. Of course, don't let it, maybe if you let it dry for a little too long, it may stay there forever. So this is something that you really need to consider, only marking on your seam allowances for quilting cotton or something that is going to hide. I would probably test your fabric before using this for your entire project. Just draw a line there, another line, and just let it sit there for like a day. And then if you come back the next day and you cannot wipe it off, now you know, but if you can, then perfect, okay? The same goes for the waterproof canvas. See, let's see. It doesn't come off easily, but let's see with a little bit of water. Waterproof. Not completely, not completely. It's still kind of there. You can see it. You can still see the line. So on the waterproof canvas doesn't really work that well, but let's see on the back. No, it kind of spreads. Look, it made a mess. So that is not good for the waterproof canvas. No. But let's see the faux leather, right? Which is what they advertise it. Okay, it removes it, but again, it spreads it a little bit. So, it kind of comes off a little bit. Yeah, it does. It comes off. But you have to use a damp cloth. And if it's in the back, don't worry about the back because it's not noticeable. It's the front if we need to mark anything on the front. Interesting that it came off just fine on the quilting cotton, the faux leather, but the waterproof canvas, not so much. Okay, let's talk about prices. So let's start with the coloring pencil here, and you get two for almost $16. And this used to be a good option when there were not many other options or when I didn't have access to other options many years ago. But nowadays, it really is not something I will use because you can only use them really on quilting cotton and on the wrong side of the fabric. So I think that, um, like I said, it used to be a better option and what I had available. But now that you can order so many things online and there's so many other pens, I think I will leave these for coloring on paper instead of on my fabric. The next one is this Janyum, and it's $9 for 60 pieces, or you can get 32 pieces for $7. And it's just the pieces are the refills, right? And it comes in 4 different colors, as you can see here. But I'll be honest with you, I used this at first, but as I kept using it, they kept getting dry here on the inside. And eventually I got tired of it. Some of them wouldn't even write anymore after I start using them. So I just stopped using it. So that's my opinion on this pen. These industrial sew-on marking pens, you get 4 for $7. That's pretty economical because these are very, long pencils, and the lead, or the lead is pretty thick. It's really smooth too, and you can really write on any type of fabric. But I don't like the fact that it's so thick. I sometimes want just a thin line, but it's pretty economical. You know, you get 4 of them, and I've only used this one so far, and I purchased this at the beginning of this year. So I've had it for um, 10 months now, and I've only used this one so far. So pretty economical. The Clover White Chalk Liner. This thing, I purchased it, I don't know, 4 years ago. As you can see, you only pay $8 for one, but I have had the same one. I haven't used the refill yet in 4 years. And you can use it on fabric, you can use it on waterproof canvas, faux leather. And as you can see, you can buy the chalk and just refill it there. But I still have so much of it, and it's probably gonna last me another 4 years before I ran out. So far, this one is the one I use frequently, and it's one of my favorites. And this last set of pens, they're the silver fabric marker pens, really for faux leather, but for fabric as well. And they're brand new. I just started using these like I said 2 months ago, and they're only $9 for 54 refills. So I think this is a very good deal. I have a feeling this is gonna last me a long time. This is the first one I've used in the last 2 months, and so far it hasn't dried up. Every time I want to use it, the ink comes out really smoothly. So I'm definitely very happy with this pen right here, and I think it's pretty economical. And here are my favorite. And I think the number one is the Clover White Chalk liner. And as you can see, you can use it on every material. It leaves a thin line and it's easy to clean. And it's super economical. So I think this is my number one option. And the second one would be this silver fabric marker pens. I think that the ink is very smooth. It's easy to see on any faux leather, super easy to clean. Now, for quilting cotton, you may have to use it on the back of the fabric, but that's okay. But I think for faux leather or any like leather material, this is definitely the winner. Tell me, what do you think? Let me know down in the comments which one was your favorite.